Hey folks, Josh Reeves here to remind you that the Global Reality is a 100% publicly funded operation that relies on the monthly support of our listeners for survival. We don't have paid advertisements or commercial sponsors who can ever dictate the content of our work. Donations can be made through PayPal by using my PayPal email address, dayglow76@yahoo.com. That's DAYGLOW76@yahoo.com. Or on the Cash App by using the cash tag Reeves Radio. All lowercase, one word, Reeves Radio on the Cash App. You can also purchase all of my work in my download store with all the films, audiobooks, and presentations I have made. And purchasing these items also helps us survive. You can also purchase a membership for the show and access years of archived shows. Support true grassroots media and activism, not beholden to commercial sponsors. We can't survive without you, so show your support today.
Since 2007, one man has dared to expose the sinister power players on all sides of the phony political spectrum. Armed with over 30 years of research knowledge of the paranormal, government conspiracies, geopolitics, secret and ancient societies, the esoteric arts, and much more. One man's quest for knowledge has become a mission for the enlightenment of all people. Broadcasting from the conspiracy ground zero of Dallas, Texas, this is The Global Reality with your host, Josh Reeves.
All right, guys, how we doing? It's Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. Hope you guys are well. Man, I just got done watching Theo Vaughn podcast. You know, I've been a fan of Theo pretty much my whole life. I remember watching him on MTV show Road Rules back in the summer of 1995 when I was, 19 years old. He's only like 4 years younger than me, but, and then, I followed him all the way through his journey through comedy and then into podcasting. I've, just been a big fan of that guy for almost 30 years. It's just wild. But that podcast he did today, and I saw he had. I remember when he had Dana White on from the UFC a few months ago, and they brought up Trump or something, and Dana said, "Oh, you want Trump on here? Oh, I'll get Trump on here for you, no problem." And of course, I didn't fucking believe it. I was like, "Yeah." Dana's, you gotta give it to Dana White. He's a man of his word. He fucking did it, and fucking Theo Vaughn had Trump on his podcast. Last time I checked, it was 1.6 million views in like the first few hours. It's crazy. And he didn't act any different with Trump than he does with any other guest. A lot of people don't get Theo. He's a comedian. You always have to keep that in mind. People say, "Oh, he's cringy this, cringy that." Well, that's who he is. I remember the first time Joe Rogan had him on, and Theo was just dropping comedy gold the whole time. Joe, you're supposed to be a comedian, dude, and Joe just wasn't laughing and didn't even get it. Didn't get it at all. Joe calls himself a fucking comedian. Thinks he's like the comedian god of the universe. Definitely think he's comedian God in Texas. But it's you know, he had fucking Bill had Bernie Sanders on last week. He brought it up to Trump. Trump kind of laughed. It was hilarious. Oh man, but I'm just fucking proud of that guy, man. Jesus Christ. I mean, to me, with some of the shows he's done recently, the guy's had RFK Jr., Bernie Sanders last week, and Trump this week. He's not even a political guy, he's just a comedian. But, he knocked it out of the park with all three of those guys better than the mainstream media could ever do or has done in decades. It's wild. It's just crazy to see, man. It's crazy to see. The mainstream media would never give Donald Trump that, it's just, no restraints, no nothing, no trying to steer the conversation towards agendas, just straight up conversation. I'm sorry, I just got done watching that before I start recording this. I just been a fan of that guy. It just feels like almost my whole life. It's just, I don't know, it's incredible. Guys, we have still got nothing in since we covered the operating costs, and the internet is going to be shut off the studio here Thursday, and the power's going to be shut off Friday, and 106, 107 degree temperatures we've had this week. $200 was our goal last week. We didn't get anything in, so that goal has been transferred to this week. We got to raise $200 this week, but like I said, 100 by Thursday, 100 by Friday is what we're going to have. So all you can do is buy downloads, buy a shit ton of downloads. I've got, I don't know, I can't even fucking remember how many new things I've put on sale just in the past couple of weeks, because there's so much new stuff in there. From the Queen's Bedroom to Spellcaster's Addendum, the Dirty Tricks Department, to the Great Reset, which still enough of you have not gotten that one yet. I put that out last week. 2 parts of my Bill Cooper Mystery Babylon video book reading series, and like I said, that's it. This is it after that. This Bill Cooper one is the final book reading I'll ever do. I'm retiring it after this one, so it's going to be good. The first 2 parts are out. Get that. The Reeves Encyclopedia of Conspiracy. All the Josh watches I've done. The most recent one's Josh watches JFK, which I don't think a single person's got a copy of yet. Before that, I did The Good Shepherd, which is a really good one you should see. Josh watches The Men Who Stare at Goats. It's the full film with my commentary. They're only $10. Go buy them, please. I'm trying to eat, keep the internet, keep the power on, so I can continue this work. I've got another new film coming for you this week. It'll be my 21st of the year, 41st overall. But then that's going to be it on films for a while, probably at least until, I don't know, the fall. Because I'm reaching the point where, well, each film I put out sells less than the one before it. I keep making them, and it's like, definition of insanity. Repeating the same behavior over and over again, expecting different results. It's kind of the loop I've fallen into with making these films. Because it's almost like it antagonizes me. Yeah, I mean, because that's just my spirit. It's just who I am. It's really nothing else other than that. It's just kind of who I am. Stuff like that doesn't. Most people, they make a film, they put it out, and it sells, 8 copies or something. They wouldn't make any more films again ever. I'm not that way. for me, it just antagonizes me and goes, oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, you like that shit, huh? Oh, you like that shit, huh? You want some more of that shit? Here you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it does to me. It doesn't make me, I don't have time to be sad or angry, depressed, or, those emotions I had when I was young. I don't have time for that. I don't even think about it. I just go on to the next thing and put it out and go, you know what? Tide will turn eventually. It always does. So, hopefully one day the tide will turn and I'll have a big following, and when it does, I'll have tons of people that will be ready to buy my stuff when that day comes. So anyway, I got another one coming out. After that, for real. It's going to be it for a while. I don't know. I don't fucking know what the fuck I want to talk about. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. Queen Elizabeth II said Donald Trump was very rude. Astonishing claim revealed in new book, which also reports that the late monarch believed former U.S. president must have had an arrangement with wife Melania. Oh, so the Queen was a Trump hater. Well, listen, here's the thing. You know what? Reading that, I didn't know that. When I read that, it actually, you know what it actually does for me? It actually makes me like Trump more. Because, I was not on board with Trump initially either, and for good reason, because he had every Council for National Policy stooge you could think of backing him, and he was ensconced with those people. And that's, even initially, when he first announced he was running for president, and I saw the CMP people he had, and he went to their meeting and got vetted by them, I went, oh, I know what he is. He's just another, CMP stooge who will do wild stuff as president that then the liberals will use as ammunition to justify why they need to be in power again and bring in even more wild socialism. We saw that from Bush, and then Obama, and then we get Trump, and then we get Biden. And listen, Trump was rude to the Queen. That makes me like him more. Fuck that old fucking cunt. He's the only president in U.S. history, ladies and gentlemen, who has not groveled and, acted like a peasant or a serf in front of the Queen. Every other president, I'm telling you, going back to the very beginning. Go back as far as you want to go. But even if you just want to talk recent history. Obama, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Reagan, Carter, Ford. All those people groveled and scraped. And, I made my new film, one of my new films is out in the Dallas store of the Queen's bedroom. That's what it's about. Donald Trump was the only Republican to ever stand up to the Council for National Policy, and he's the only Republican, the only president to ever stand, not grovel and act like a servant to the Queen. I think you should be commended for that, He's also the only sitting U.S. president to ever bring UFC champions to the White House. Presidents have always brought World Series winners and Super Bowl winners, stuff like that, to the White House, but he brought UFC champions to the White House. That'll never happen again, though, because we're in that. I haven't even watched the UFC. I've been watching it since 1995. I haven't even watched it the last 3 weeks in a row. I think I'm done, or at least done for, I don't know, a while. I took a break between 2003 and 2012. I didn't watch it. during that time. Now we're in the worst era there's ever been because Dana White. I like Dana White, but he loves that Saudi and Russian money too much. I think we only have like one. Yeah. I think only one champion, and he's not even active right now because he's been hurt. I think John Jones is the only U.S. champion currently in the UFC. And then, let's see. Well, there's only three. Yeah, who's the champions in the women's division? Zhang Weili. She's Chinese. Alexa Grasso, because she got 2 gifted victories that were terrible decisions over Valentina Shevchenko. She's Mexican. And the third women's lightweight division, that puts her a fucking dead division anyway. They weren't even going to keep that division going. Raquel Pennington. Nobody knows who fucking Raquel Pennington is. She doesn't have she's not a ticket mover. She doesn't sell pay-per-views. She's lesbian. I don't know if that's neither here nor there probably, but you know what I'm saying. She's just not marketable in that way. So yeah, all the rest of the champs currently are either Russians or Dagestanis. Oh man, about a few weeks ago, the fucking most hated fighter in the UFC, maybe one of the most hated fighters ever, Bilal, remember the name Muhammad. I hate that fucking guy too, fucking cocksucker. And so all the fucking Arabs and the Hajis have turned the fucking UFC into ground for holy war. It's bullshit. These guys are, the Dagestani guys are from Russia. Bilal Muhammad, he's so hated. The guys never want to fight by a finish or a knockout. He's won every fight by decision. How do you become champ by only winning decisions? And why? How in the fucking world does that make you an exciting fighter or anybody even more? He's the worst. And when he won the title a few weeks ago, the memes, the pictures of Dana White's face. Oh my God. You might as well have just put a picture of an ATM with money just shooting out of it. Because that was pretty much what was in Dana's head as he's wrapping the bells around Bilal Muhammad. The guy doesn't move tickets. He doesn't sell pay-per-views. Everybody hates him. This is the worst era ever in the UFC. And all the Muslims are acting like it's the proof that because the Dagestani guys, they're Russian, okay, but they're Muslims, but they're not Arabs. But all the Arabs are acting like this is proof that Arab supremacy is the best. Listen. I just gotta say, fuck the Arabs. Fuck Arabs. Fuck them all. Nuke them all and let God sort them out. That's what I fucking hate those motherfuckers. Listen, there's no other religion besides Islam is a supremacist religion. I don't give a fuck who this pisses off. I'm speaking facts here. Islam is a supremacist religion. Their goal is to take over the world and wipe out everyone in the entire planet who isn't a Muslim. It's in their religion. So I don't want to hear about hate speech and hate this, hate it's like the fucking liberals talk about. I don't want to fucking hear it. Those motherfuckers hate anyone who's not a Muslim. And when Bilal Muhammad, when they're all, Palestine, he was first Palestinian champ, no, he's not, dude. He's from fucking Chicago, Illinois. He's born and raised in Chicago. He might, be of Palestinian descent, but he's not from Palestine. The dude was born and raised in fucking Chicago. He's an American. So I would add Bilal Muhammad to the list of American champs. And now, even though he's the worst fucking champ of all time, and I fucking hate that guy, they're having all these. Look, Dana White sold his soul to the Saudis during COVID to keep the sport going. That's what he did. They used to have, before COVID, they had maybe one event ever in the Middle East. He sold his fucking ball sack to them during COVID to keep the sport going. And we're just now seeing the fruit that it's bearing. Meaning, You nobody cared. I didn't even care when it was one guy from Dagestan was Khabib Nurmagomedov. These guys just lay on top of people and hold them down. Fucking crotch sniffers, leg humpers. They just fucking hold people down on the ground. There's no. It's supposed to be mixed martial arts, meaning you're mixing up the styles. Not get them to the ground, shoot the takedown, lay on these guys and that's how they went. And it's bullshit, and everybody tolerated it when it was one guy. Now they've got all their fucking goat humping fucking relatives in the sport because they're all fucking inbreds. All those fucking even Muslims, they're all inbreds. Oh yeah, that's a fact. You can look that up. It's a big problem in Islam. Inbreeding is a big problem. It's, we get a lot of shit for it. It gets talked about here in America from the South. Listen, nobody's worse. Nobody's worse than the Muslims. They are literally all inbred, every single one of them. Yeah, we're in the worst era ever for the UFC. Like I said, last 3 weeks in a row, I haven't even watched it. I don't think I probably will for a while, but it's just the Muslims are acting like because you got a guy from America whose name is Bilal Muhammad. His name is Muhammad. That makes him the best. Fuck out of here, Haji. Go fuck yourself. He's not even fucking Palestinian. He's from America. He's born and raised in Chicago. And the other guys, Dagestani guys, they're Russians. They've already had like 3 events. UFC's already had like 3 events in the Middle East this year. And a lot of these guys, some of these guys can't even, they can't even fight. They have to keep having these events in Saudi Arabia because a lot of these guys are on terror watch lists. They can't even get fucking visas to come to America to fight because they're on fucking terror watch lists because a lot of them hang out with Chechen warlords. And, I've talked about previously, I call him Abdul al-Sleaze. But Abdul Aziz. I remember that guy's name coming into the picture when I was, doing 9/11 stuff 15, years ago. This guy was, connected to the 9/11 hijackers. Regardless of what you think about that inside job or not, that, he still was some kind of intelligence operative. This guy is the biggest fighter manager in the sport. Anyway. So, as I was saying a minute ago, well, I didn't initially like Trump because he was support, all the CMP support. I've talked about Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley's who they want. That's the CMP's next chosen one. That's who they want to be president next for Republicans. And then I see this today. Ex-Nikki Haley voters rally behind Kamala Harris. I picked the side that had the least. Well, there you go. That's what I'm boom, right there. That's what I've been telling you for almost 20 years. That's the CMP's whole job. I cracked this in 2008, 2009. When I found out about how the Fabian Society and, all these British think tanks funnel money into both sides of American politics. And that's what the CMP's job is to support and get the most, craziest extreme right candidate they can get in there that will do crazy extreme right stuff so it will embolden the left to bring in more socialism. That's the Fabian Society's whole, I don't know what you call it, mission statement. Their whole thing is socialism by incrementalism. So surprise, surprise, some former supporters of Nikki Haley are now organizing for Kamala Harris, who they see as the better choice over Trump. No, bullshit. That's not an accident. Well, the people that were supporting Nikki Haley are just now all of a sudden supporting Kamala Harris. It's because she's the CMP's fucking bitch. And that's what their job is to do. That's why I've been against the CMP from the very beginning. That's why I was against Trump when he was ensconced with all the CMP people like Bannon and Pence and all, and what's her name, Betsy DeVos and all that. And now we hear the CMP's next chosen one, has gotten all her followers to start supporting Kamala? What the fuck are you talking about? That's not the Republican Party. That the Republican Party would call, or people associated with the Republican Party would call Kamala Harris the lesser of two evils? What the fuck are you even talking about? No, it's because that's the CMP in a nutshell. That's their goal. That's how Britain controls the American political landscape. That's how they are ensuring that no matter who we get socialism and even more of it in the long run. Jesus Christ, I feel like a broken record because I've been repeating this for so long, is people still don't fucking get it. Jesus Christ, I just released my movie, fucking, The Great Reset, about Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum and all that. You will own nothing, that you will be happy. You know, that's the whole thing of The Great Reset. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy, and you'll rent everything in the future. You won't own anything. And I told you about it recently. No sooner than I make this film, and I talk about, don't ever fucking tell me I don't have my fucking finger on the pulse of the zeitgeist, motherfuckers, alright? No sooner than I make that film talk about it. Here comes a fucking article from the Wall Street Journal. The extreme renters who own nothing, not even their jeans. It's not just leasing your car. Christmas trees, camping gear, and even caskets are up for rent. Caskets. I mean, this is the Klaus Schwab wet fucking dream right here, folks. We're in the Great Reset right now, and we have been since 2020. Brittany Catucci rents everything she can. Like lots of 20-somethings, she doesn't own the place where she lives, a 3-story townhouse in Emeryville, California, but she and her boyfriend, Eric Markley, also rent their queen-size bed. Catucci's work clothes and repair, and these people just laugh it up like, oh, that's great, it's great, we rent everything. No, that's what they want. That's how they bring in socialism. Listen, you know, I've said it on the show before, and I'll say it again. And I never thought I would say this in my fucking life, Jesus Christ, about any Republican, much less Trump, but seriously? No bullshit? Jesus Christ, I've already said it, so it's nothing new. So to say it again it shouldn't be hard, but goddamn, it's just wild that this is where we're at. I can't believe this is where we're at. Never thought we'd be here. I could not have predicted this. Trump's our only hope. Jesus fucking Christ, did I really just say that? I did. Because it's the truth, and I only speak the truth. You know? Even truths that I don't fucking want to have to say sometimes, he's our only hope. The only thing that's going to be able to put the brakes on where we're going as far as socialism right now is Trump, and he'll only be able to put the brakes on it for 4 years, and you can bet whoever comes in next will be somebody even more wild. My friends don't even blink at the fact that I'm constantly renting stuff. It was my parents who were like, oh my gosh, you guys are still living in a place where you don't own any of the furniture? Their townhouse came with the furnishings, and they pay around $1,100 each in rent. They figured they could find something a little cheaper that didn't have furniture, but it would cost at least $5,000 to bring their own stuff during their cross-country move from North Carolina. Catucci spends about $1,000 to $2,000 a month on renting other items, including about $100 a month for clothes. You rent clothes? I mean, this is the fucking wettest dream of Klaus Schwab right here. is exactly what they want for all of us, for the world. And that what they believe is that that's what's going to save us from climate change. Is you owning nothing and you renting everything, and then you'll be happy. Fuck you, Klaus Schwab. Suck my fat American dick, you cocksucker. Eat a dick, Klaus Schwab. Eat a dick. One month she might need a short-term hiking backpack. The next month she doesn't. Americans are embracing a rent-first lifestyle. No, they're not. They're actually not. Y'all are just trying to perpetrate that they are to get more people to do it to fulfill Klaus Schwab's goal of the Great Reset. Fuck out of here. Ain't nobody fucking doing that shit. You don't know nobody that's doing this shit. Because you would have already smacked the fuck out of them and told them not to fucking do it. Are you a moron? This is bullshit. Nobody's fucking doing this. But they're trying to make it appear that people are, just like they're doing with Kamala Harris and all that. They put up these things saying she's leading in the polls. She's not leading in the polls. It's all propaganda. The media has become completely complicit in not only lying about someone like Trump or anyone else, but they're also the point where they're lying about how well Kamala Harris is doing. And the reason they do that is to give the perception to people that her campaign is doing well, so it makes it seem like she's a winner when she isn't, so that it'll get more people to vote for her. They're doing that. It's gaslighting. I mean, that's become a term that's been used, I think, overused in the last 10, 15 years or so, but that's what it is. And that's what they're doing here with this article, this Wall Street Journal article about Klaus Schwab's fucking, you owns nothing, said you will be happy. I mean, he's a scarier Nazi than Hitler. I mean, scarier German than Hitler. I'm telling you, I'll say it again. If Hitler had said the things Klaus Schwab has said, we would have nuked Germany back to the Stone Age. Some extreme renters say they can save money by not owning their high heels, hand drill, or sofa. Yeah, just discount the fact you could buy those things used or, refurbished even on Amazon you can get refurbished things. They're acting like none of us know how to live. So they want to give us a new model on how to live by how they say we should all be living. I mean, Klaus Schwab's literal thing of the Great Reset, you will own nothing and you will be happy. And you'll rent everything. And this is all about, I talk about this in the film Great Reset, it's all about, really it's just the end of capitalism and the bringing in of a new form of socialism where corporate profits are shareholder profits. They want to change it to where companies are not about, making money for the shareholders anymore. And I agree, there is some that it is out of control, but at the same time, you can't say, let's take something away that's bad if all you're going to do or offer up to replace it with is communism and socialism. And that's what they're doing. That's what the whole Great Reset thing is about. It ties in with environmentalism. It ties in with the inflation. That's what the inflation is all about. They want to make it so that you can't buy as many things and consume as many things because their belief is that if you're being able to afford less things to buy and you have less things to spend money on, then in fact, if you get that, system wide in every country, in every world, then that will save us from global warming. That's what the whole thing is based on. I mean, it's a house of cards built on a fucking sandcastle. And when you look at those numbers, those people are paying for the renting stuff. It's more. It actually ends up being more. You will own nothing and you will be happy. But yet, you're still going to own stuff, aren't you, Klaus Schwab? You're not going to give up your house in Geneva, Switzerland, are you? For climate change. You're not going to give up your bank account in Geneva, Switzerland. Funny how he built the World Economic Forum in Geneva, Switzerland, right? A neutral country where you can't go and just fucking, nuke the World Economic Forum to take out Klaus Schwab. Otherwise, violation of international treaties and stuff. Yeah, you don't think that was an accident? There wasn't an accident for a second. That's the problem I have with all this. You think Klaus Schwab's going to give up his fucking nice car? You think he's going to start renting a car or renting a house he doesn't own? Hell no. Because it's not about changing the rules for themselves. It's about changing the rule for all of us, the ones they view as the serfs and the slaves and the peasants. All right, how about the royal family give up their $1 billion Buckingham Palace? Let's fucking take that and turn that into a homeless encampment. Let's get homeless people moved in there. And then the royal family can go rent a fucking, a flat in Cornwalls together. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here. You think them motherfuckers are going to do all the same shit they want us all to do? You think fucking Prince Charles is going to fucking, or Prince Harry, whoever, King Charles now, but, Prince Harry, you think Prince Harry's going to fucking rent everything he owns? Fuck no. The motherfucker's got all the money in the world. There ain't no reason they would do that. So apparently, I don't know much about this yet, but I haven't really dug in deep into it because I've been too deep. But apparently there's another group now that to me seems like a CMP offshoot group. I don't know that they are. I don't know that they aren't either, but there seems to be another right-wing group now that's kind of usurped the CMP, and it seems like Trump is on board with them. I don't know. Let's read it because I don't really know much about this group yet. Meet the powerful evangelicals who believe Trump is an apostle who will reclaim America for Christ. Well, listen, you've got a lot of those CMP types. I covered that in the first Secret Right in 2009, but a lot of those CMP types you got a lot of Christian Zionists in that group. They want a theocracy. It's October 2019 in the Roosevelt Room of the White House, and then President Donald Trump stands at his desk in a blue suit, his eyes closed. Around him are 25 people who are smartly dressed up and with their eyes shut too, with a few exceptions. They're mostly middle-aged white men. Again, okay, what's the point of that? Why even drop that in there? Why does that matter? It's funny to me that the left, who all they do is rant and rave and go on and talk about racism this and racism that all the time, are the most racist motherfuckers on the planet. They always say, oh, race doesn't matter, color doesn't matter. Why you bring it? Look, if you say something, oh, well, a black man did this, then why mention his race? Why do you have to bring up these a black man? But if you say, oh, well, Trump met with these people who are mostly white men, that somehow is not racist. Yes, it is. Because you're making the issue about race the same as someone who makes the issue about race when talking about a black person or a yellow person or a brown person, whoever. So don't fucking sit here and tell me that racism is this huge problem, but it's a problem that the left doesn't participate in. They're, not the racist ones. Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. They're the ones who are constantly bringing it up more than anyone else. So that should tell you right there who the racists are. Among the usual suspects, right-wing evangelicals like American Values President Gary Bauer. Hi, Gary Bauer. Gary Bauer's Council for National Policy. Get the fuck out of here. Again, this is 2019. Trump had not figured out the CMP stuff yet and fucking drain the swamp of all them from his administration yet. So Gary Bauer, First Baptist Dallas Senior Pastor Robert Jeffries, and Family Research Council President Tony Perkins. Tony Perkins, Council for National Policy as well. A female televangelist named Paula White Kane, CMP, and President of the National Hispanic Christian Leadership Conference, Samuel Rodriguez. These last two are leaders in a movement that is playing an interestingly significant role in American politics, constructing a religious network determined to see Trump reelected in November so that he can continue their mission to turn America into a theocracy. You know, again, so this group is called the New Apostolic Reformation, NAR. So it's just a CMP offshoot group. But Trump kicked all the CMP people to the curb. But what they did, they just got another group where they changed the name. And so they're roping him in with this, and they've tricked him into thinking it's not the CMP, it's something different. Listen, a theocratic form of government, I talked about that. I found out about that in 2008, 2009 when I made City Right Volume 1. Do you have any idea? Most people don't. Maybe I should make a film about that at some point. Most people don't get and understand. Let me tell you something, folks. And it's fine if you're a conservative, and it's fine if you're a Christian, and it's fine if you have conservative values. All those things are great. All those things are fine. But theocracy, that's something else altogether. And I don't give a fuck who you are. You don't want that. I mean, that's literally like, stoning people to death in the streets who have views that are different from yours. I mean, what do you think you're going to do to somebody like me, who's against all sides, left and right, and talk about, no, you don't, listen. If Trump is aligning with these people, he's only doing it for the same reasons he was doing it the first time around with the CMP, to help get his ass elected. I think, I'm not really worried about this, to be honest with you, this NAR thing, the New Apostolic, how do you say that word? Apostolic, the New Apostolic Reformation. I'm not so much worried about it because I don't know. I see Trump's modus operandi now. And he's, just like he did with the CMP, I think he's willing to make these guys think he's on their team and that he's working for their causes for, a theocracy or whatever. And then he gets elected and boom, he fucking goes to him and kicks him to the curb. He did the same thing to Alex Jones. He buddied up to Alex Jones before the election in 2016. He was trying to use Jones's platform to get voters. And he did that. And when he got elected, he ghosted Alex Jones and fucking treated him like a fucking ugly girl he woke up in the morning with. That's what Trump does. That's his modus operandi. And I almost, god damn, I'm going to say something else I fucking can't believe I never said. I almost don't have a problem with it. Really. I mean, if he ghosts these motherfuckers, these theocracy motherfuckers, like he goes to the CMP, then I'm definitely... listen, that dude's going to do what he's going to do to get elected. And if he's got to fucking make some of these extreme people think he's on their team to get himself elected, You ever seen Shane Gillis' impersonation of Trump? It's the best ever. Fentanyl streaming up the border. Fentanyl tits. 4 years ago, we had American tits. What happened? Now with Sleepy Joe, we have fentanyl tits. It's distinguished by adherence to dominionism, the belief that God wants his followers to rise to power through civil systems so Christians can control society. Yeah, that's That's what a theocracy is. That's what they want. The Old Testament rule of law to usurp even the Constitution. That's what Christian theocracy is all about, folks. Listen, I don't. If you're a Christian, that's fine. Whatever else, I don't like the fact this Christian dominionism stuff is like what I was saying about the Muslim crap earlier. It's in their teachings that Muslims should kill everyone in the world who isn't a Muslim, and the world should be made up of only Muslim followers and believers of the Prophet Muhammad and all that bullshit. And Christian theocracy and this Christian Reformation stuff is right on par with that. And that's why I got a big problem with it. Again, you want to be conservative, that's fine. You want to be a Christian, that's fine. The idea that we're going to take the American government to a Old Testament rule of law that usurps even the Constitution, fuck out of here with that. Because I wouldn't like it if Scientology or whatever other religion, the Mormons, whoever was trying to do that. So why would I like it? Because that's what the Christians want to do. Listen, I'm not really worried about this with Trump. Because I think he's just going to use these motherfuckers to help him get elected. He gets elected, he goes them. That's what I think. Because it's the same fucking people. I mean, they mentioned at the beginning of this article. I mean, those guys that they mentioned are in this Council for National Policy. So I already know that one of their tenets, one of their goals is to create a theocracy. I've known that for fucking over 15 years. So, yeah, that's all this is. Web magazine Religion Dispatches calls the NAR one of the most important Christian religious and political movements of our time, and points to the role of NAR leaders in the electoral campaigns of Trump and Trump-aligned figures, from school boards to statewide offices. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have that. Look, these extreme right theocratic individuals, they're as bad as the far left extreme liberals and extreme socialists on the left. They are. They're no different. And, of course, the most extreme on either side are always going to want to take the most power, because the people that are most evil and want to do the worst for humans and for the planet and for all people are the people who are the most extreme. Extremists. Extremists are on the left. Extremists are on the right. And this whole thing of making the United States be an Old Testament rule of law, form of government, usurping even the Constitution. Get the fuck out of here. Some media news coverage conflates the NAR with Christian nationalism, but they're actually very different. Oh, really? Oh, they are? Okay. All right, do tell then. Christian nationalism contends that America has always been a Christian nation, but it's more about identity than religion, bound up in nativism and white supremacy, reimagining the country's history and values. NAR, on the other hand, is very much rooted in religion. It's also multiracial at its root. It's the restoration of modern-day apostles and prophets, including women like White Cain. NAR's vision to remove the demonic forces from positions of power and replace them with Christians intent on bringing about the kingdom of God. Listen, fuck out of here. If you're buying into and believing what these motherfuckers are selling, we're already fucked and you're lost anyway. Talk to Action, a platform dedicated to analysis of religious rights, says NAR demonizes minority groups such as Muslim Americans and LGBT citizens and promotes a Tea Party style of radical libertarian economics categorically opposed to government involvement in healthcare, and advocates for the burning or destruction of objects and scripture associated with a wide range of faiths. See what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what side you pick, left or right. You're going to get The extremists are the ones who are trying to take power on both the left and the right. That's where we're at in politics. The battle of the extremists. The left has their extreme shit with Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum and all that crazy shit with environmentalism. And then the right has their version of it, which is just as equally bad. It's just formed in a different package. So I guess the big question is then, okay, let's do that then. All right. I guess the big question would be for me then, lesser of two evils, who you picking? You want to roll the dice with the left and the Klaus Schwab Economic Forum and all those whack nuts and the socialists? Or do you want to roll the dice with the right, who are also funded by Fabian socialists from Britain, who only want the extremist of extremes on the right to take power so that they can then justify bringing in the craziest socialist people on the left once their power was done. That's how they brought in socialism, guys. That's why they don't let anyone sane and rational get their presidential nominee on either side, left or right. They certainly aren't going to let some regular citizen who isn't funded by corporations and the military-industrial complex and on, pharmaceutical companies and all this stuff. They're not going to let anybody like that have a crack, because that would disrupt the whole apple cart of the whole entire system. You have to have extreme on the left. You have to have the most extreme on the right in order to keep in the mechanisms and the agendas of control by the overall world power, world government system. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that one. I don't want either one of them. I don't want a crazy leftist, extremist, socialist government, and I don't want a crazy right-wing Christian theocracy government either. I mean, so for me, there is no lesser of two evils between those two. Fuck them both. Fuck them all. I don't want either one. I want somebody who's not going to work exclusively for the agendas of these crazy, wild Klaus Schwab type people. Yeah, good luck with that, right? Yeah. And that's where we're at. That's what all of these years of all our politics has led us to, folks. It's just now come to roost right now in 2024. Their manipulation of the system has ensured that the only people you get to choose from, left or right, will be someone who, in the long run, will embolden more extremism to come in from the other side. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I don't think I've ever been this disheartened about politics my entire life as I am now. I don't think there's anything to be positive about anymore or hopeful about anymore when it comes to politics. Because the people that control the game, the house, the casino, how else they say it, casino, right? House always wins. They have manipulated the system to the point where democracy, so-called democracy, or voting and all that, it just doesn't matter anymore. It holds no power, it holds no sway, because no matter who gets into power, be it left or right, they will only be serving to push the agenda forward of the world power players, whether they intend to or not. That's how much control they've asserted over the entire system. Even if someone with the best intentions, say even someone like Trump, tries to go in, they are at some point, no matter what they do, going to be emboldening the system to continue. because it's going to give them an excuse on the left as to the reason why we have to have their viewpoint, to have them in power. And that's the only reason why they've been pushing Kamala. Everybody hated her, even the left. They have that debate, Biden shits the bed in front of the whole world, and then the next thing you know, Kamala's all of a sudden the fucking savior. And people don't even see that all of this was a plan. You don't think they knew this was coming in 2020 when Biden got elected, when they stole the election and got Biden in there? That was the whole thing. They just wanted to get anybody who wasn't Trump in there. Same thing here. So I'm sorry, guys. I wish I had something positive to tell you. But I don't. I don't think. Best we can hope for is Trump wins. We get 4 years of Trump where things are good. And then, after that, I mean, listen, if Trump wins, live it up, baby. Live it up. All of us. Me, you, all of us. Live it up. But don't trick yourself into thinking things are going to be good forever, because they're not. We might get 4 good years of, a shot at having a good life again like we had before Biden. But after that, I don't see any hope after that. Zero. So really what we have to look forward to right now is either more of the same and the bad continuing to get worse, or we get 4 more years of everything being okay for a while, and all we can do in that time is just make the best of it and prepare for 4 years later when shit's going to hit the fan again in 2028, and whatever we get to choose from then, left or right, it's going to be even worse, and whoever wins and then in 2028, it's going to be even worse than what we're experiencing right now and what we experience with Biden. I'm sorry, guys. I'd love to be an unrealistic optimist and tell you, hey, it's all going to work out. It's all going to be great. Don't worry. It's going to be all good. I would love that. If there was anybody coming up, on either side of the political spectrum that looked like they weren't going to be a total stooge for the system and the powers that be, I could say that, but there isn't. Best case scenario we can hope for is we get 4 good years of Trump, because then after that, it's only going to be bad and even worse than it is right now. Sorry. I mean, I hate to fucking be the bearer of bad news, and I hate to sound like a negative Nancy, but the fact of the matter is, guys, that's the truth. It's kind of like pay me now or pay me later type thing, if Trump wins, it's just going to delay the inevitable. It's all it's going to do. It's just going to delay the inevitability that we're all going to face in 2028. Because no matter what, you understand, it doesn't matter what Trump does or what he might do if he gets reelected. The guy could bring peace to every war-torn country in the world. The guy could make every economy in the world 100 times better than it is right now. The guy could cure cancer. The guy could solve the energy crisis. The guy could, whatever fairy tale thing you can think of. Make $100 bills rain from the sky. Guess what? They're still going to be fighting him every step of the way, and they're still going to be using everything he does to justify why they need to bring in more communism and socialism and stuff from the left, environmentalism and all this crazy Klaus Schwab shit in another 4 years. That's all they're going to do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he does. He could turn the whole world around and turn the world into a utopia, the likes of which we've never seen, and it still would be seen as evil by the leftist socialists. Those are facts. He's in one of the most damned if you do, damned if you don't situations I've ever seen. I mean, I really, honestly, goddamn, I can't even believe it. I would ever say this, but it's really, well, all we can hope for, as far as anything good right now, Trump gets in for another 4 years. We got 4 good years of having a good life before everything goes tits up again and is even 1,000 times worse than it's been under Biden. That's what's coming, guys. So, live it up. All right, well, that's all I got, guys. Please buy downloads of all the stuff I've put out already so I can eat and afford a meal. And help us and donate whatever you can. Dayglow76 at yahoo.com on PayPal. Reeves Radio, all lowercase, one word. Reeves Radio on the Cash App, and capital J Josh dash capital R Reeves dash 61 on Venmo. And got to raise $100 by Thursday, $100 by Friday. Keep the power of the internet on because it's being shut off this week. If I don't have power of the internet, I mean, I can't do anything. I can't. So, let's go. See you next time. Take care.